Hi, my name is Ian Carroll. I spent the last 10 years or so mainly just playing music at local farmers markets. I've seen it bring a whole lot of joy to a whole lot of people. People come up to me and thank me every day. 'Cause, I get kids up dancing and they play along. And it just brings a lot of joy to a lot of people to just see happy children laughing, having a good time. Sometimes I get old couples that want to dance to the Tennessee Waltz or some other waltz. And it's so heartwarming to see some old couple dancing, at Roots. Everybody's sitting there eating their lunch, usually grumpy, and then they look up and they see this cute couple dancing, and it just makes people really happy.
I'm the Reverend Carla Christopher. I use she or they pronouns, and I'm here in central Pennsylvania, the land of the Susquehanna. I serve as the assistant to the bishop in Delaware-Maryland and Lower Susquehanna Synod, and I'm also a proud MDiv alumni of United Lutheran Seminary and currently getting my DMin with studies and concentration in evangelism, community outreach and connection. See, I was a diversity, equity, inclusion, belonging, accessibility trainer before becoming a pastor. Before that, and to this day, I'm also a poet. So when I stand up in front of a room, I don't just say I am part of the priesthood of all believers. I might say I am a priestess. Speaking in the tradition of Deborah and Mary the Magdalene, I am unashamed. My feminine energy rising with the shofar's sacred intensity, with the musicality of my poetry, I create sacred sound. And as I surround you with the incense of praise-raised voices, discarding pretense for joyful noises, the poetic stage becomes sacred ground. So as sermons satiate and keep you filled, I pray they also pacify and keep your soul stilled. Because the second seed of prayer, nonviolent practices, embodied rituals, it is part of every aspect of my work. I asked several of my friends, all people of faith, some pastors, some therapists, also musicians, poets, artists, if they would share. How do they build peace? How have they found the peace internally that allows us to continue in this challenging and difficult work, this challenging and difficult world? To find love, to be able to communicate the peace that we find in our faith, to embody it and share it with others. There is no evangelism if we can't live it ourselves. But then also, when people are hurt, traumatized, struggling, angry, agitated, escalated, how can we come back together so that our brains and bodies can re-enter that state of learning, of mutual understanding, of building bridges across differences? Well, it doesn't surprise anyone to be reminded that every single freedom movement we have ever studied, saw on TV, or thought of has involved nonviolent practices and embodied rituals, chants that help us march in the street to a shared rhythm. Stories, theater, engaged ritual as a way of bringing us together or sending us forth. It's a way of teaching, of maintaining stories, communicating when we may have different educational backgrounds, we may even speak different languages.
My sewing and creating masterpieces with cloth is me embodying peace to groups of people, because in doing so, I offer a moment to appreciate life and practice gratitude for the here and now.
I see my role as an active peace builder in the community. I do this through my paintings as well as through my art wellness groups that are offered to the community. My goal as an artist is to capture the mood and energy of different spaces and people that I encounter. My hope is to empower, promote self-reflection, as well as inspire the viewer to be spontaneous, playful, and honest in how the world is experienced. Art provides us with a holding space to release and find ways to self-care and problem solve. As we are able to get clarity, there's opportunity to see the potential in our creativity, to be resourceful, resilient, and see the potential for hope and resolution.
Hi, this is Maria James Chow. I'm a published poet, performer, and playwright. And my poetry is me embodying peace in such a way that can build up those communities that have been disenfranchised, marginalized, and silenced through time. So I'm giving voice to those who have been voiceless.
My poetry is about sharing peace with my communities in order to help us feel less alone.
Quincy Jones had a song titled What Good is a Song? And in it, the lyrics were, what good is a song if it can't inspire, if it has no message to bring, if a song cannot send you higher, 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 then it's not good enough to sing. And I believe that when we bring communities of people together in a space that allows them to share something that sends them higher, 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 we are actually able to go deeper, deeper, deeper into the other, as Howard Thurman would say, to find the genuine in the other. When we're listening to the sound of the genuine in the other, then we can see ourselves through their eyes, and the boundaries, the things that typically divide us have been destroyed, and we are closer to community, closer to a better understanding, more able to live into and for the heart of
Just wanted to let you guys know that writing has been my escape. It has allowed me to process things that I never thought I could feel. It has allowed me to share my thoughts and feelings with other people that are struggling with the same thing that I am. It has been transformative to be able to write and to be able to share poetry with my friends and family and people that are like-minded, especially when we're in this difficult, sad time in our history. It has been absolutely uplifting and inspiring to read the work of other writers and other poets and other people who have gone above and beyond to share their hearts and their souls with those of us who need that little bit of uplift. And as a teacher, I make sure that every student that comes to my class knows that they are loved, and I give them the chance to express themselves in ways that they might not be able to do so otherwise through writing. We've done poetry workshops, we've done writing workshops, we've done various types of programs that allow for them to do free expression, creative writing, drawing, painting, making that genius shine through. It's one of the best feelings in the world when you have the opportunity to unleash someone else's genius. I absolutely love the role that I'm called to do.
My life's work in art form is me giving, sharing, building, and bringing together peaceful musical communities for people of all ages and backgrounds. And to me, this means better education and more opportunities, and lots of opportunities, and ways in which we can learn, to create, to unify, and to perform. And why? Because music is the best form of change and peace I can offer the world.
Hi, my name is Kayla, and I use pronouns like she and her. I'm a graduate of ULS. I am currently a pastor. I'm also a music therapist, and the one thing I've done longer than anything in my life is play music. For me, music brings peace to my life and those around me, precisely because it is a spiritual practice. It's fun and it's great, but for me, it just hits a lot deeper. It is this spiritual practice because it's just a perpetual invitation to listen to others and for others. I learned from the Quakers that we are constantly in a duet with the silence around us, and I live by that every day, that whatever sound we make, spoken or sonic beauty or otherwise, is constantly engaging with the silence as well. Music is also, as a spiritual practice, is a way to hold whatever people are expressing, right? That's the beauty of songs in particular. It's 3 to 5 minutes of a particular emotion, aesthetic, a snapshot of something that happened in life. And so we are invited for those fleeting minutes to hold on to that, to venture into that experience just a little bit. So, for example, I think music provides an exercise in listening that translates to the rest of life too. I can listen to a song and I'll say, oh my goodness, the bass line on that was just so funky or so hip, right? And the people around me will be like, what? I didn't even hear that, right? Because I'm a trained musician, so I'm drawn to that, or I can pick those things out. But what if we all practice that, right? I was never much of a soloist. I've done almost all of my music in ensemble groups, bands, orchestras, rock bands, you name it. And everything you need to know about life you can learn playing in a musical ensemble, kind of like what I was just saying in the exercise about listening. What does it mean to relinquish space and sound so that other voices can be heard? But also, what does it mean when you're called upon to amplify your own voice? When someone takes you to account to play louder or softer, or to get the notes right, to go back to the practice room. On my worst days, when God feels furthest away, I look for songs that pull me back. Or even if I'm too tired, I try to force myself to sit at the piano. And remember that one of God's favorite art forms is music, because music takes breath. Music takes sound, and music takes spirit, some of God's favorite components.
It is an honor to be part of music that makes the world a better place. I know this to be true because I have experienced the smiles and warm words that accompany it.